optimized stage, quite convenient, optimizing product development. I see everybody's seated. I see the bellies are full. So I think that's great. So one of the key questions that we are going to talk about is what's the reality of balancing speed, quality, or process? As Ivan said, my name is Mario, a product manager. I have 10 years of tech industry experience. I was a developer. I was a project manager. I was a program manager. I was a product manager. And I'm doing it right now. While working with more than 10 teams, I realized that if you want to optimize something, you need to employ change leadership. And I realized basically this is the thing that I'm doing for all those years. And you know this guy, right? This is the average Joe. He's doing a bunch of mistakes through the whole process of saving the princess. In the end, he turns that into a success story. I kind of felt this way through the whole career, and I really want to share the path with you. Leadership. When I was a junior manager, I thought I knew everything. See a couple of people smiling, I think we are on the same page. One of the main lessons that I learned is that leaders need to guide and inspire, but in the end, like, the team is the real hero. So the leader is not a superhero, the team is the superhero. Let's face it, folks, so optimizing product development is a human challenge. It's actually about harnessing the potential of individuals and the teams. We have to acknowledge to ourselves that technology itself cannot really innovate, processes cannot inspire, and even ChatGPT cannot foster creativity. It's the people, their skills, their passion, their drive, and in the end, their collaboration that creates things. This is what I wanted to show to you, and this is the output of my team through the years that I've been with them. This is what business sees, and this is a business success story. As I said, it's the output of the team, and what they only see is the features that we create, and what they see is the metrics where we engage our users. I can tell you that with these only like a couple of examples, we've hit the roof with engagement metrics. It's all great. And do business even care about how the team works together? I think they should. Why? The team success, in my mind, is like equals customer success. In the end, if the customer is satisfied, then the business is successful. Okay. But how do we do that, Mario? I think this is the name of the game, or the holy grail for the product development teams. The culture of innovation, I believe, that enables us to create successful business stories. But the culture of innovation itself really thrives in the environments that encourage creativity. The secret to the culture of innovation in our team and the core of success is the empowering of the people. What we need to do, if you would ask me, Mario, how to empower people? Like, people need to have the trust that they can fail, they can experiment, they can make mistakes. That's normal in product development. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. The things that you saw on the last slides as a success, that's a product of many, many mistakes. Okay, but what is the heart of our success? All of those experiments that I said work better if you include creativity, collaboration, and teamwork. I would call them power-ups for the team. Okay, but now I want to share you a couple of stories. So probably all of you are in product development. Everybody is developing some kind of software. That's, in my mind, everything is a product. And I would go back 4 years ago. I had a team that had issues with speed. I think there's a lot of you that can say the same thing. You were probably in the same situation. I was working with a team of 55 engineers, and we said, okay, let's improve our speed. And as a normal person, okay, we know about Agile, we know about Scrum, and we employed all of those things. So story points, project plans, burn down charts, daily stand-ups, you name it. We employed everything. We had it all. The team thought that they have success, but that's something that happens with a big team. Everything falls apart if one of the person goes out. This was our story. We learned a lot through the process, but it took me, I would say, years to understand what we were doing wrong. But it came to happening. I met a guy called Ivan. He's a QA engineer. And a success story, or the hero story about Ivan, goes as follows. We went to the conference room. We had our weekly meeting with the team. Ivan said, guys, we have all the research about customers. We have all the data. We are doing a good job. But I think this team can do much more in terms of speed. Everybody said, okay, let's do something. What to do? Okay. Ivan said, I have one idea. It's kind of rough. I don't know what to do with it. Can somebody help me? Then came Hrvoje. Hrvoje is a designer. Okay, man, let's draw it. They draw it together. They shared it with the team. They started talking with me. They started talking with other team members. They started talking outside of the team. They collaborated with everybody. This was the fastest delivery to the customer ever. And Ivan's story actually shows that you can be fast through collaboration or speed. Next thing, we mentioned speed, quality. Another team, another story. We were on the mission to create the best gamified experience for our customers. But we started it. Mission is great, vision is great. And everybody loves games, right? That's what we thought. We again collaborated, did a really good job in our mind, released it to customers, and guess what? Nobody cared. Nobody used it. Nothing happened in engagement metrics. The team was dissatisfied, and so on. And as a product leader, what you need to do, or any kind of leader, like software leader, doesn't matter. Demotivation, nobody wants to do anything. We spend so much time to this, and it's really hard to give up something when you're working hard on it for quite some time. I said, okay guys, I don't know what happened, but let's get back to the drawing board. Again, collaboration. We started drawing, we started doing user research, we started prototyping, we took some time in data analytics, we gathered all the data that we can. In the end, couple of weeks, we created a pivot, and it was a major success. But I'm going to ask you again, what's the reality of balancing speed, quality, and process? Can you even have all three? I'm not sure. But I can tell you that with quality and speed, the processes come in natural. This is everything that I said is basically continuous improvement. And I would say even learning. All of us as people, we have good days, bad days, you're stressed out. Everybody has it. But the top teams are going to prevail those problems. Since I'm starting to close the session, I do want to have one sentence for you. What I believe that teams fueled by passion and purpose, they don't see obstacles, they just see opportunities for innovation. And if you ask me, how do you achieve that purpose? Is by giving people autonomy. If you remember Ivan, he had the autonomy to do everything that he wanted. Everybody had a trust in Ivan, and that's why the collaboration made a success. I don't want to leave you without anything, with blunt story. There's a couple of tips and tricks in product development that we all can do. And I mentioned a couple of times, trust. It's really, really important for you to have trust in your team, to be honest with the team. That will give you the ability to experiment and fail. That will give the next step to continuous learning. You have to empower your teams. They need to know that they can make mistakes. And I would say one of the most important things is to resolve the conflicts inside the team. Without that, there's no trust, there's no empowerment, and you're not going to do the experiments, or you're not going to fail. One last thing, don't forget to celebrate the achievements. I would really like to discuss the human element of the story with you, but there's no playbook for people. I don't think that anybody can give you that. Every team is different, and every person is different. Thank you. Q&A.
Okay, anybody has any questions? Raise your hand. Don't be shy. Evo, samo jedna.
Ta-da-dum.
Vi ostali razmislite, nemojte se sramiti.
Hope it's not gonna be hard.
Okay, I would like to ask if you can give us some of advice because we are working in company and we are employing, of course, developers. And since we are new in that, can you give us advice for young leaders how to approach to them?
Good question. The initial thing that I would say to you is, like, the first thing that a leader needs to do when they join a company, even 6 months, I would say that they need to be, like, have a good relationship with the team. That's the main thing. And after that, all of the tips and tricks like trust, honesty, I think it all comes in natural. And I believe that a leader has a path for success after, let's say, 3 to 6 months. Really depends. I don't think that you can measure that.
Thank you. Any other questions? Here you go. Your name, sir?
Thank you. My name is Luka. And I have a question from a leader point of perspective. Is it, can a lead be too close to his, let's call them employees, so the rank under them? Or does a leader need to be a bit distant to get the maximum output from them? What's your perspective?
My take on that is you could be close with your team, but there needs to be boundaries. So take any example as you want. So if somebody is not doing a good job, is a problem of leadership, onboarding, or selection process. But then again, as I said, I think you can be close with your team, and there needs to be boundaries.
What kind of boundaries? Are we talking about going to dinner or what? Any specific types? Because that's where relationships bond.
No. I mean, when I say boundaries, I mean that if you are a close friend to somebody and somebody's not doing a really good work, you need to give the honest feedback to the person. So that's the boundary that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Are you satisfied?
I just wanted to clarify. Is that okay? Any other questions? Yeah, there. Here you go, sir.
Thank you. Hi.
Hey.
So I have a kind of a reverse questions from the others too. So how we as developers could inspire our leaders to make good changes?
Oh, a tough one.
Yep.
I don't know if you know, but there's this thing called stakeholder management. I mean, your boss or your manager is kind of a stakeholder. If you're talking about the advices, what I would say to you is that what you need to do with your manager, you probably have some kind of OKRs, you have tasks that you need to do. Yeah. Again, being transparent. So even if it makes like, if you think that you are boring to your boss, I don't think that nobody's going to be mad if you're communicating too much.
Okay, so we need to be adamant, right?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What if you get fired for being too honest?
Oh, you're talking about a whole different story.
I'm kidding. Any other questions?
Another there.
Yeah.
You're going to lose weight after
Vaša
this.
mora biti frerna folk.
Yeah.
Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I have a question. For example, when you're in a position of leadership,
Okay.
and for example, like software development, you always like expect, especially if you're a new one in that, and you made the transition from developer to leader,
Okay.
that your job will pretty much stay the same. You will continue developing, and maybe there will be like few human dramas that you will need to solve.
Mm-hmm.
But what if this number of human dramas suddenly jumps to much more than you expected it, and you like have this feeling that maybe it's like taking much more of your time that you expected before taking this position? Is that a problem of you, not of me or anybody else, not having like a vision of this role? Or if there are more like these situations than you would expect, that maybe you are not solving them in time, like nip it in the bud or something like that.
Yeah.
What is the issue? Maybe is it the issue of perception, like what percentage of your time this takes? Or
I think I got you. So what I've heard from you, so you're, and just to quickly answer me, you're dealing with difficult people, or like difficult, like tough to manage?
Yeah, sometimes that's the case, and I mean, as a leader in a big organization, you don't always have like the authority to do something the way you would like, or.
Of course. What I think we'll need to put a pin on it, because this is a long conversation. But I'm gonna be here, and I really can share some stories with you. I had the same situation, I think 6 or 7 years ago. So. And would really glad to share some thoughts with you. We are out of time, so that's why.
If you will have a few minutes, I would appreciate it.
Okay. Any other questions? Are you up to it? Or are we out of time?
We are out of time. That's why I had to stop. Sorry.
I'll allow one more.
Oh,
Maybe? Yeah, of course it's there. Yeah. Here you go.
Hi,
Hey.
Tibor here from Infobip. I'm wondering, how do you deal with establishing psychological safety within the team, and how do you actually teach the team that it's okay to fail, not only to fail, but to fail fast, to actually learn something. So I'm wondering, how do you establish the feedback loop within the team so they keep learning and growing?
I think it's going to be, again, a lot of questions to you. So do you have regular one-on-ones with your team?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, what do you talk about?
I mean, we talk about a lot of things, but I'm just wondering about this one specific part where you keep them motivated, even when the things don't go right.
Okay. So you're probably in the exact same position where I was a year ago with the gamification part. I think you need to be blunt honest with the team. There is something called vision, and if you believe in it, everybody else will believe in it. Sometimes it's just about believing. It's not anything else. And you need to convince them, honestly. Psychological safety comes in when you have successes, and if you're here for the team, if they're failing constantly, or if they will eventually have successes, so the safety is going to be there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we're out of time.